It's both of them. I think it's
Okay.
both.
Okay.
So it made a change. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it to me, like, I feel like Stan Lee, if you want to say like, well, he wasn't out there saying like, this guy helped me and this guy helped me and this person did this, but he did more to promote other creators than any editor in chief of a comic book company up to that point. Like in
Yeah.
the 60s, like he made the Marvel bullpen into like their characters that had nicknames, they had personalities that people were reading about. They were drawn as cameos in the books, like he brought comic book creators out of obscurity, I would say, in the minds of the readers, like Joe Kubert and Kurt Swan, at DC.
Mhm.
Like, did anybody know who they were really?
No.
Like, would people even know? Like, even us as fans, Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby, if he didn't put them front and center in Marvel Comics,
Right.
like ultimately it comes down to people want credit so they can get money, like that's what so maybe he could have shared a little bit more of that type of
The
credit,
wealth.
but he was just out there more. He's the charismatic face of the company, so that's what happens.
And he was called Shy Steve Ditko by Stanley, isn't that right? That was his handle, Shy Steve Ditko.
Yeah.
And Steve Ditko, did he ever do like signings later in life? Because I know when I lived in New York, you would hear people say, "Oh, I went to Steve Ditko's apartment and I ran to Steve Ditko on the street." And like there were people who even in like the early 2000s were still trying to track down Steve Ditko. So
Like I read something about like that if you sent him letters, if you somehow tracked him down, he would respond. But I don't think like outside of like getting back into the comic book industry here and there, creating Speedball for Marvel or like going over, he was at with Jim Shooter at his Defiant Comics, like he did things here and there, but I don't think that he was ever like going out there for the fame, which is weird. He's like he wants the
yeah.
credit, but he's not gonna promote himself,
He was kind of a recluse, though. I think like
That's what they
that's.
Oh,
say. He's just
big
private.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he
So,
was, yeah, yeah, very
well,
hidden in the shadows.
well, one thing that was not reclusive was the Wizard magazine promotion machine, because they were out there telling people everything about this 100th issue.